What's going on, ladies and gents? It's Salvaje. I'm back with another Fortnite Save the World weapon review on the last word hand cannon. And I am going to call this thing a hand cannon because this thing literally melts. The weapon specializes at rapid fire burst damage, and it is extremely great and an above average pistol when it comes down to taking out single targets. And this pistol specifically becomes overpowered when you're using it with a pistol related hero such as Ranger Deadeye, Field Agent Rio, and of course the homegirl Quick Draw Calamity. And in my opinion, if you use this pistol with Quick Draw Calamity, you basically have a really disgusting overpowered combo. Okay, in the description of this video, I'm going to link my gameplay using Quick Draw Calamity and this last word hand cannon so that you guys can see how overpowered those two work together. It's so disgusting that you're probably gonna have to take 10 showers like I did. But anyways, what else do I like about this pistol and what else makes this pistol so great? Well, the reload speed on this thing is amazing, specifically if you have a reload speed perk on it. I didn't test out the weapon without a reload speed perk because I knew that this weapon needed the reload speed perk to be effective. Keep in mind, you only have 6 bullets in the magazine, and obviously I don't want to increase the magazine size of the weapon because I wanted the weapon to have just 6 bullets. Like, that is as effective as possible with of course Quick Draw Calamity. But yeah, the point that I'm trying to make is that the weapon has really amazing hip fire. Now, as you guys know, I don't like to only say positive things about a weapon when I'm reviewing it. So here's the bad thing about this last word hand cannon. If you don't have the weapon perked up correctly, you're going to struggle with this weapon when it comes down to crowds of enemies. And honestly, I wouldn't really say you're going to struggle with this weapon when it comes down to crowds of enemies. I think you're just going to struggle when it comes down to big burst damage. For example, this is not a weapon that you want to take to a destroy the encampments missions if you don't have it perked up correctly. And of course, we are going to talk about weapon perks in the recommended perk section, which we will get into a bit later into the video. But yeah, long story short, the weapon isn't going to be extremely effective if of course it's not perked up correctly. On top of all that, if you have really bad aim and you can't really aim even well when shooting from the hip, the weapon isn't going to be as effective because keep in mind, you only have 6 bullets in the weapon, and if you're not landing your shots, then the weapon isn't going to be effective. Now, the weapon has a 6th perk, and the 6th perk is that when you get a headshot elimination, there's going to be a small explosion. That also helps out a lot. I just want to point out, if you are going to use the last word hand cannon, use it with Ranger Deadeye, use it with Field Agent Rio, or use it with Quick Draw Calamity. In my opinion, I think Quick Draw Calamity would be best for that increased impact. When I was fighting smashers with this thing, like I said, I'm going to link in the description my gameplay of me using the last word with Quick Draw Calamity. But in that gameplay, I was literally destroying smashers with 3 magazines of this weapon. That's how OP this weapon is, okay? Last but not least, the range on the weapon is really good, which means that if you use this thing within a 3 tile range, which is like the ideal sweet spot for a pistol, you're just going to be destroying your opponents. Now, like I said, if you perk up this weapon correctly, you're going to be able to basically use this weapon with any hero. Like, you're not really going to need like a pistol hero. Now, the roles that I was running with the last word hand cannon for the gameplay that you guys are seeing in the background is critical rating, reload speed, headshot damage, and critical damage. And the reason why I put headshot damage in there is because I wanted to aim down sights from time to time and be effective with the headshots. However, something that I realized from playtesting that specific build is that it makes the weapon great for pistol heroes, but if you're not using a pistol hero, the weapon isn't going to be very effective. So you want to make the weapon effective for all of your heroes. So if you want to go with that, go with critical damage, reload speed, critical rating, and critical damage. And if you are running Ranger Deadeye, for example, which has an ability to increase your critical rating, long story short, you're going to have a very great critical rating with this weapon, which means you have really high chances of landing a critical hit with, of course, your last word hand cannon. And of course, that means that you're going to be dishing out massive amounts of damage and you're just going to be melting everything in your path. Guys, this last word hand cannon is amazing. Okay, anyways, I do believe you should transform this to Shadow Shard just because it lowers the rate of fire a bit, and that means you're going to be able to be more accurate with it. And on top of all that, this is just a pistol that does massive burst damage, so obviously you want to get the most damage as possible. And here's a new section for my weapon reviews, recommended heroes. But wait, I almost forgot. Let's get into the star rating. I'm gonna give this bad boy a 5 out of 5 stars just because when you have this thing perked up correctly and you're using it with a pistol hero, this thing is literally broken and overpowered. And of course, if you are using this weapon correctly perked up, or even mediocrely perked up, and you're just using it with like any hero in general, the weapon is still very, very great at doing its job. Anyways, let's get into recommended heroes. I believe you should use this pistol for heroes that basically specializes on pistols, like Ranger Deadeye, for example. Or you can also use this with soldiers since they have the debilitating shots ability at the time of me making this video. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my weapon review for the last word hand cannon. If you did, drop it a like, subscribe to join the Salvaje Cartel, and spread the word about the channel. Let your friends know. See you guys in the next one. Peace.